Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. It is Monday, another glorious week about to descend upon us here in the year 2020, backwards world. Interesting times for sure. It's our regular Monday. What do I know? Sharing some things that came up this week, tips, tools, what's going on, answering any questions you guys may have. So if there's any questions that you guys do have, type them in here. I'm just going to share this into our Facebook group and also go live on Instagram. There we go. I thought it was live already. Share this in a group. Yeah, so I've also been writing some music or trying to write music. I've been realized how challenging it is. It's easy to write like parts of songs and little like lines and lyrics, but then like tying them all together is an interesting process. But I should have something to share with you guys really soon. I'm just going to share this one more spot here. Should definitely be an easier process to share things. Okay, here we go. All right. So good morning, guys. Gio here. What did I want to talk about today? A new book I'm reading. I'm reading a new book called Breathe. I think the author's name is James Nestor. And I've also been working on a new breathwork course. And it's really interesting, but I'll cut to the sort of the close notes of it, of the importance of nose breathing. And you may think it's not a big deal. But there's so many things that breathing affects in your life if you're over breathing or not breathing properly. And one of the easiest things you can do is just to start breathing through your nose. It can change the shape of your face. It can cause you to have crooked teeth. Our jaw, good morning, Clarissa, shapes our jaw and our face. And the good thing is that your face will change really quickly, or your breathing apparatus can change very quickly. So it doesn't take much. So I'm going to be creating some videos specifically on that. I've just been blown away by some of the science behind nose breathing and CO2 tolerance. We're always focusing on oxygen, stuff like that. The other thing I noticed this week is I turned off my Twitter notifications, and it's really made a huge impact. And I would really challenge you guys with social media to shut off all your notifications on all of your social media accounts, even email, stuff like that. And I found and I knew this already, but it's always comes back to like putting things into practice, is the applications, the integration. So all the things that we learn in life, it's good when you understand them from a theoretical perspective. So when you're reading any kind of book, philosophy or science, but it doesn't always fully sink in until you apply it. And I remember once someone was telling me that first hour in the morning is so important. And this was a speaker, I think, the Bulletproof Conference, and he said the worst thing you can do first thing in the morning is pick up your phone. Now, be honest, raise of hands. What's typically the first thing you reach for in the morning when you wake up? Maybe you go to the bathroom first or whatever. Check your phone. What are you doing? Usually checking your email, seeing your notifications, seeing what's going on. But what happens is that usually puts you in a responsive state of mind. So if you're answering an email, you're responding to someone else asking you something, or someone sends you a message or posts, and you lose sort of that direction of you choosing how to sort of embark on your day. So what you should be doing when you wake up in the morning is like just spending some time, figure out what your morning routine works for you. I mean, I'm always changing mine with the times to see what works better. But it's really focusing, okay, what do I want to accomplish today? How do I want to show up in the world today? And what do I want to sort of do, embody, accomplish? When you check an email, you start thinking, okay, I need to answer this, I need to respond to people. You're not choosing, you're sort of responding. The other thing that was important too that I stopped doing was, getting off of social media. Today's an exception for Mondays. Was also anything related to like negativity in the media. So like whether it's conspiracy theories or like QAnon or like any kind of things that was like really puts you in deep thought, analyzing potentialities, things you really don't know if they're true or not. Not focusing on that first thing in the morning has changed my productivity. It's really changed, I feel like, the way like my brain works. So I highly recommend staying away from that also in the morning. I'm only doing that at night now as entertainment, just keep myself I guess sort of in tune with what's going on, but trying not to be affected by it. Where now I'm just going really back to, what are the things I can control? What are the things that I want to focus my energy into? Spend most of my day doing that, then checking in with some of the others. So that's about that. And we've also been doing a men's group. So if you guys have any sort of groups or communities, I've really noticed that, for personal growth, it's super important to be part of a community. So we created these men's groups at Elemental. We're going to be creating more online ones for people who don't live in the area that want to join in. We also have women's groups as well. And at first I was a little bit hesitant towards this. I don't know if that's for me. But it's just an amazing opportunity to have like a sounding board, have people who are also on a path of personal development that you can sort of share what's going on. And, we started holding accountability. It was like, okay, what do we want to focus on this week? What do we want to do? And, we'd have a partner that we just send a message in the morning. And it's really been keeping me on track with, hour-long meditations in the morning, focusing on, one or two things that you want to do. So I really think that as we move forward, having some more of this community tribe mentality is so important into our growth. I think the social media has isolated us so much over the last however many years. Coronavirus isolating, but the power of a tribe, the power of a community, the power of having support, I think, is one of the most important things you can have on any journey, whether it's a healing journey, whether it's a journey of expansion, whether it's a journey of personal growth. Having a community of not even like-minded. People say like-minded. I like more open-minded. So like-minded is people who think the same as you. Open-minded is people who are open to challenge you in a positive, constructive way, and also have their own ideas. So I love being around open-minded people. So really been focusing a lot of my energy on how do I create more of these groups for people who are on a path of healing, growing, expansion. And that ties me into the next topic that's coming up. I'll get to your question in a second, Clarissa. The next topic is like psychedelics. So something you obviously know I'm really passionate about. It always comes up, like what is the right way to do psychedelics? Are they the answer? This and that. And a lot of people have been experimenting with it, will reach out to me, whether it's a facilitator or, a user. And sometimes it's like, oh, this is the most amazing change in my life. Oh my God, I have so much doubt. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I've seen someone, do it and go a bit crazy. And again, like, I don't think psychedelics is the answer for anything. I think they're a tool that can really bring you more awareness, that can sort of open your eyes, that can show you a way or a potentiality, can give you a lot of self-awareness. I think the key to growth and healing starts with self-awareness. So whatever tools can help you have that, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be psychedelics. And I would say like psychedelics is never at the center for me. It's a tool that's surrounded by community, by learning and understanding, by experience, meditation, breath work, eating healthy, and all these things come to this center point, which is your spirit, your soul. So that's one thing that came up this week in conversation, because I keep posting videos from the documentary, from interviews that I've been doing. So you can check those out on the YouTube channel or on the Instagram, IGTV. We got a lot of videos on there if you guys know how to use that. What else happened this week? Some people said it was supposed to be the end of the world this weekend, solstice. They said there was actually a mistake in the Mayan calendar prediction, and the Gregorian calendar didn't take into account, I think, 11 extra days per year times 268 years, which ended up being 8 years. So they said it actually landed on June 21st, which would actually be December 21st, 2012, based on the other calendar, which was very interesting, falling on a summer solstice. There was a crazy eclipse. They're saying we're moving into a new age of Aquarius. I'm all for it. I think usually at the end of like an era, it's like all this chaos. Now we're moving into a new energy. And I felt a lot of clarity over the weekend. I don't know if it's all these things I've been doing. I'm doing a cleanse, but I really feel like we're ready to break free into a new energy, into a new cycle. So that resonated. I don't know how true any of this stuff really is, but it's got to sort of resonate what's happening for you. And it definitely feels like we are at a time of change. And so more of these things come up where, like sometimes I think I'm in this simulation where it just keeps getting crazier and crazier until you're like, okay, I get it. This is not real. Life is not real. It's an amazing simulation, like a video game. I chose to come in here to learn and grow. And, V for Vendetta was one of my favorite movies. I don't even know how old it is now, probably at least 10 or 15 years old. And I posted a meme that I reshared a meme that someone shared about how accurate that movie is to what's going on right now and how that took place in 2020. So I'm going to watch it again this weekend. I'm going to invite you guys all to watch V for Vendetta this week, and we'll chat about it on our call or on our live next Monday. So yeah, those are some of the main things. I'm going to see if there's any questions here you guys might have. There we go. Clarissa, what are your thoughts on wearing these masks on a mandatory basis? Over in the US, I don't like not having fresh air. I'm against wearing masks. I'm totally against wearing masks. Personally, I don't think they're healthy. I don't think they block the virus. There's a lot of science you can just Google about how masks don't really do anything. They actually may cause more infection because you're touching your face all the time. They're not, small enough. If you're scared to pass it on to someone, if you think you may have it and you're with someone who's high risk, that's probably one occasion. But I'd say if you're worried about that, someone's high risk, you probably shouldn't be around them anyways if you think you may have it. I've read some articles that saying asymptomatic people, it's very rare or almost impossible for them to transfer it. I don't think breathing in your own CO2, like building up your CO2 is important. So training yourself when you're still having good oxygen levels coming in, because every breath in you can have 100% oxygen. But I really don't think rebreathing in your same CO2 over and over for an extended period of time is healthy. So I'm against it. I think there's more to it. I think it's more of like a symbol of control, and then this is getting into more conspiracy type stuff. So take it with a grain of salt. It's like a symbol of like obeying and listening and submitting. But again, like if it makes you feel comfortable, I think you should. What's more important right now is that you feel safe and you feel comfortable, because that being in a high stress state of being all the time is what's going to actually lower your immune system. And when that's lowered, you're going to be more susceptible to all kinds of things. Also, staying inside does that. So I would say get outside, get some fresh air. If you feel like you still need to socially distance, do that. Most of the numbers coming in are showing this is nothing more than a strong flu season. Most of the people who've died are elder or have comorbidity things. So I'm not afraid of it. And if there's a store that will not allow me the option to go in, I think that's going against my rights. If I have to wear a mask, I'll just choose to bring my business elsewhere. So we'll see where this goes. Looks like there's going to be a vaccine announced this week. That's what I've been hearing. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about vaccines, if you're lining up to get it, if you're going to wait and see. Personally, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I think anytime you rush something in, there just needs to be testing for this kind of stuff. All the vaccines have been rushed in. There's all kinds of side effects. And although it might be on a big population, only 3%, but when you have 1 million people, 3% is a lot of people, brain damage, neurological issues. I like to know what's in these things. There's some weird ingredients in a lot of these things that doesn't make sense as to why they're in there. But I think there's going to be some therapeutics that'll work. I think really, nature in general, there's ways that, and this is probably going to sound insensitive and inhuman, but I believe in reincarnation. I think we'll be back. I think everyone's here for an experience in a lifetime, and I think we keep coming back. But the high risk nature usually has ways of introducing things into this petri dish called Earth that will sort of kill off things that are weak, that improves sort of the species. Whether it's viruses or like mold and fungus in a garden, some plants will, die because of it. So I think on the bigger scale, like everything that's happening now is supposed to be happening, and how we transform and shift out of it is also supposed to happen at the same time. So I'm always, now it's more like wait and see. Don't rush. Don't jump to conclusions. There's one thing I shared. I'll just end with this if there's no more questions. That there's a story about the farmer, Chinese farmer. And, you probably heard this, Alan Watts shared it. I love this one where, one day his horse takes off. He's one horse and it takes off. And all the people in the town, small village, come and say, oh, what bad fortune you have. You lost your only horse. And he said, maybe. The next day, that horse comes back and it brings 3 wild horses with it. And the whole town comes and says, oh, what great fortune you have. You lost one and now you have 4. He said, well, maybe. The next day, his son's trying to tame one of these horses, and falls off and breaks his leg. And the whole town comes in and says, "Oh, what bad luck you have, you see, you know." And he said, "Maybe." And then, the next day, the whole country goes into war, and they come to recruit the kids to go to war. And the farmer, because his son broke his leg, he can't be recruited. And it's like, "Oh, what great fortune you have, like, he's going to go to war." He says, "Maybe." And the moral of the story is, something may appear not to be good at first, and we have all this sort of judgment as to how we want to control things and control the outcome and try to determine whether something is good or bad, when we really don't know. We really don't know that everything that's going on right now, how horrible it may be with the racist narrative, the virus narrative, the economy narrative, but 20 years from now, all of this stuff that's happening now may be the most important thing that's ever happened to humanity. We may be resetting, like, the economy and way we do business. We may be resetting, bringing the racism thing up to the forefront, see what the real root causes are, whether it's, minimum mandatory sentences, the police state, where for-profit prisons, whether it's the crazy war on drugs where people, get put in jail for 10 or 20 years for having a plant that makes them happy, where people are actually making money selling this same plant right now, and probably making profit off the jail and off the plant at the same time. All these backwards things that needs to come to the surface. And, it feels like they're pointing everyone at each other, saying like, "Hey, we should fight, people who look different, who think different," where it should be like, "No, we should communicate more. We should try to find real solutions and what the actual problems are." And I think that's all what's happening right now. So is it a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe. We don't know. But we'll know as time goes on. And let's try to sort of be present in the process, not try to avoid it fully, not try to get too sucked in and, like, get tunnel vision on a specific issue. It's like, hey, like, how do we communicate more? How do we sort of find the solution? So I'm an optimist. I think things still may get worse before they get better, but we, the people of Earth, we have a say in this, and the way we bring our energy and the way we sort of share and bring compassion and kindness into any situation. When you see something that is wrong, to speak up, or to show support for those who are going through a tough time. I think that's what we can do right now. So anyways, I went on a bit of a tangent there. I'm just gonna check if there's any more questions. Yeah, awesome. No more questions, comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another Monday. What do I know, guys? This is just me speaking off the cuff, sharing some things I've been feeling, things have been going on this week. Again, if you ever have any questions or topics you want me to talk about, just shoot me a message on Instagram, on our YouTube channel, Facebook. Podcast coming out weekly now, so tune into that. Subscribe on YouTube or iTunes. And there's also the 7-day free breathwork course on elementalacademy.org. We're going to be having some new courses coming out soon as well. I'm really excited about that. Thank you, Clarissa. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, have an amazing week, guys. It's Monday. Focus. What do you want to accomplish this week? Tap into your own energy, your own power, and we will see you guys at the latest next Monday. Okay, peace. Have a great day. Thanks, Clarissa. See you soon. See you later, guys.